What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit that like button. It is Tuesday, July 12th. Is it 12th? It's the 12th, right? It's totally the 12th. It's the 12th. Day the 6th. It's day 6 inside the Big Brother house. And we're going to be breaking down what happened on the live feed yesterday. Kind of going over where the house stands. I'll be honest, there's not a lot to go over. Pretty much everything for the week is done, but there's still so many questions that we have about what's going to happen on eviction night and what's going to happen going forward into next week. So let's just cover what happened yesterday. Obviously, Michael won Veto, and we were waiting for the veto ceremony, and when it was all said and done, Taylor, unsurprised to most of us who have been following it, is the replacement nominee. Now, if things stay the same, and the two nominees, Taylor and Terrence, are on the block on Thursday, Taylor goes home. It's just too much for her to overcome at this point. She would need a literal miracle to be able to stay if it was just a vote between her and Terrence. There's just no chance of her staying otherwise. Now, we don't know what's going on with the backstage, so that could help her out, but if things were a simple week of Big Brother, Taylor would be going home. That simple. How it got there, a lot of you have been watching the videos, already know what's been going on, but just to kind of give you a very simple recap. Paloma in particular, but also Alyssa, the two of them got really close in the beginning. They decided they wanted to make an all-girls alliance. They got very spooked by Taylor being so close to the guys, and they were like, whoa, that's kind of a target, and she's not hanging with us. It was a little bit of jealousy there, too, I think, because they saw her as a target, and don't get me wrong, that is a reason to be like, oh, she's good, right? She's smart, she's strong, she gets along with the guys. That's a good reason to target her. But the way they went about it has been very messy. Kind of one of the big things that started off, and now actually Alyssa thinks back on this a little differently. She said, hey, maybe we misjudged that a little bit. One of the first things that happened was they saw this really fancy dress that Taylor had. They were like, oh, try it on, try it on. She's like, well, that's my finale dress, right? Like, I want it. Like, no, try it on. We want to see what you look like. And they made her try it on. She tries it on. She does a little, like, fashion show strut. She's a pageant girl, right? So she knows, how to walk a runway, I assume, right? Like, so they had her do that, and she looked great in the dress. But then they were like, how dare she call it her finale dress? They took this as her being arrogant when she didn't want to do it, and they made her do it. What then continued to happen was more of this girls alliance being formed, which didn't include Taylor and didn't include Nicole, because they weren't considered girly girls. Or girls, not girly girls, but girls, right? They're not a girl's girl. They're a guy's girl, or they're a this girl. They didn't consider them good enough to be part of the group. So it was Paloma, Alyssa, Amira, Indy, and Jasmine, and Brittany. It was the 6 girls. They're together. I think they're calling themselves like 6 in the City or something now. I don't know. It keeps changing. That's why I'm holding off until Thursday for my alliance chart, because all the names just keep changing on the alliances. They don't know what they're doing. Another big thing that happened was Paloma and Jasmine did have a conversation with Taylor on one of the first nights about how, yeah, all these guys are getting too close. We got to get them out. Taylor, a couple days later, went to Monty and he's like, Paloma was talking about getting big guys out. Like, you should be worried. And Monty's like, oh, okay, thank you. Immediately runs to Paloma, who he's also technically in alliance with, called Mamba, after Kobe Bryant. It's season 24. He wore 24 and 8. I think that name's also being workshopped. I don't know if that's going to be able to stay or not. But very bold to call yourself Mamba and have the Mamba mentality this early in the game. So because of that, he went to Paloma and he's like, hey, you won't believe what Taylor just told me. She said you're coming after big players. And Paloma goes, no. Oh, no, I would never. Of course she's going to lie because you wouldn't tell the truth in that situation. And Monty full on just didn't trust Taylor after that. He became pretty much Taylor hater number 2, taking over that spot from Alyssa and any of the other girls. And it's just been kind of a downward spiral from there for Taylor. They've gotten pretty much the whole house against her, except for maybe Nicole. Nicole and Daniel started to have a little bit of doubts. Like it was doubts, but it was too late of doubts. If they would have had these doubts maybe like a day or two earlier, they could have actually gone to Taylor and gotten her side of the story, because that's something that nobody bothered to do, was go to Taylor and be like, hey, what happened? Right? Like, did you tell Monty something? Because now they're going around saying all this stuff, and like, what's the deal? Nobody bothered to do that at all. So Nicole had a little bit of suspicion because she's like, why would she say it to Monty that way? And then Daniel even was like really close when he had a conversation with Paloma last night, where, again, it's too late. Right? Like, it doesn't matter. It's already, the nominations are already done. But he had a conversation with her and he said, why? Like, what a dumb move to attack Paloma and lie about Paloma to Monty when she couldn't even be nominated this week. Like, why would you pick, of all the people to lie about, why would you do about Paloma? And Paloma just goes, yeah, it's real dumb, ain't it? She's dumb. That's why she gotta go this week. It's like, but wait, if she's dumb and she's lying, then why are we getting rid of her? Because if she's lying and we know she's lying, then we just won't trust her. And if she's dumb, she can't trick us. So why are we getting rid of her? It's a lot of stuff that just doesn't make sense. By the way, I talked about it yesterday. Paloma is... I think the house is getting to her. I honestly think the house is getting to her. And she's very much in denial and a bit delusional about what's happening, right? Like, she said this morning, we've cured anxiety. This game cures anxiety. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't know one person who's been in that Big Brother house who's, like, done well that didn't have a little bit of anxiety going on the entire time. Like, you have no vote, you didn't compete in any competitions, and you don't know what's happening to you on Thursday. Like, how do you have no anxiety? I don't understand it. She was talking about being a pulled pork sandwich. She would walk up to someone and be like, I'm pulled pork. I'm getting pulled all over the place. Yeah. Tell everybody in the house that everybody wants to talk to you. Why? Why do they want to talk to you when you have no power? It's just been, it's been a thing. It's definitely been an interesting first week of feeds. It sucks that it happened to Taylor, because I really like Taylor. I think she had a lot of potential to play really well in this game. But like I said, she needs a miracle to stay at this point. Maybe something in the backstage will help her out. And I also hate to see how much this, like, mob mentality has jumped on. And look, that's Big Brother, that's the world, right? Like, there's this huge mob mentality. As soon as somebody sees an opinion, they all just want to jump on it. And that was kind of the problem here, is nobody really wanted to talk game this season right away, and they were all kind of worried about it. And then Daniel had this, like, open door policy with HOH that made it really hard for people to come up and talk to him, because anybody could walk in at any moment. So all it took was one person to kind of pick one other person and say something about them, and everybody was able to jump onto it and just run with it, because, hey, it ain't me. Going forward now, and again, it's hard to really speculate because we have no clue. Will Taylor be leaving? More than likely, but we don't know with the backstage boss. Will Paloma be leaving because of the backstage boss stuff? We don't know, right? But just going forward, some of the things we can assume, right? Alyssa has already talked about, like, if she won HOH, probably this next week, it might be like someone like Daniel and Nicole. Especially because a lot of them are aware now that Daniel and Nicole came to Amira about maybe forming, like, a little group with her, Nicole, Daniel, Pooch, and Turner. So here's the thing, where I was wondering how true Nicole was to Daniel over Amira. From the episode we had on Sunday, it gave me a little bit of hope that, you know what, I think Nicole is loyal to Daniel, but she talks with Amira a lot about Daniel, and in ways that felt like she was trying to manipulate Daniel's nominations. Like, one of the big people that she originally wanted nominated was Joseph, but that never really turned out for her. So if Amira has gone and been like, oh yeah, Nicole and Daniel, they want me to join this like group, and she's telling all the other girls, that's not good for Nicole and Daniel moving forward. At this point, Daniel has a lot of targets on his back from a lot of different people now. Michael, obviously, if he won HOH, that's an easy pick for him. Put up Daniel. If Terrence won HOH, I don't know if that's very likely. Who knows? Maybe it's like a putting competition or something. These second HOHs are usually like a crapshoot one where it's like the numbers and they have to shoot a ball or something, or who knows what this one's gonna be. So maybe Terrence has a shot. I don't know, but Terrence probably would use Daniel as an easy nomination. I think a lot of the girls might use Daniel as an easy nomination. So yeah, there's not looking good for Daniel. He didn't make the best choices this week, even though I think in his head he feels like he made a lot of great choices this week. So yeah, it's a bit of a mess in this house. We have an episode tomorrow. That'll be the Veto episode, so we'll see the Veto comp. We saw pictures from the Veto comp. It's kind of like a jousting competition. Obviously, we know Michael wins it, and the Veto's used on Taylor. And then Thursday's episode is going to be the big one. I don't think we're going to have a watch-along for tomorrow's episode here or on Twitch. I will be live on Twitch after the episode around like 10:30 Eastern time, which probably would be like the start on the West Coast of the episode-ish. And we'll talk about, you know, what happened. Obviously, we'll talk about Big Brother. We do like a Fortnite night over on Twitch. Play some Fortnite with the gang. So we'll probably be talking some Big Brother as well. Thursday, I'm doing a watch party for the eviction here on YouTube. So make sure you're here for that to see what happens with Taylor and Terrence, the backstage, and all that stuff. And then other than that, yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think's gonna happen going forward? Do you have any theories on what the backstage will be? I've heard a lot of different ones, but it's all speculation at this point. We got no idea. Yeah, let me know. Let me know in those comments down below. How are you liking this season? Other than that, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.